I'd like to introduce you to Mrs. Stewart. She's a rather upset grandmother of 4 and just a couple days ago underwent hip replacement surgery. She's ready to be discharged from the hospital to a rehabilitation facility where she'll work to regain her strength. Unfortunately, Mrs. Stewart is currently experiencing one of the most common and costly frustrations in healthcare today. She's been waiting for an ambulance to transport her for the past 3 hours. Mrs. Stewart's unfortunate predicament is by no means uncommon. At least 20% of the millions of non-emergency ambulance transports that occur each year in the United States are delayed by at least an hour. With over 5,000 hospitals and an average hospital bed costing well over $2,000 per day, this equates to millions of bed hours lost and many millions of dollars wasted every year. Dilemmas related to medical transportation are commonly cited in hospital executives' top 5 of the costliest inefficiencies, and they're struggling to get a handle on it. When airlines are this unreliable, it makes the news. So why do we tolerate this in healthcare? The delay currently frustrating Mrs. Stewart is not a problem isolated to herself alone. It's an unsolved puzzle that's causing consequences in other areas of the hospital as well. There's a patient in the emergency department who's waiting for Mrs. Stewart's departure to be admitted, and yet another patient is in the waiting room and can't be thoroughly evaluated by a doctor until that patient is moved upstairs. Doctors and nurses are becoming irritated with the delay. The room at the destination rehabilitation facility has also remained vacant for the past few hours in anticipation of their new arrival. Further, Mrs. Stewart's son has been waiting at the destination for some time, and he's growing concerned. Problems in medical transportation result in rippling delays and dysfunction throughout the hospital and other healthcare institutions and cost society a tremendous amount of time and money. You're probably asking yourself a pretty good question. Why hasn't this been solved yet? Unfortunately, ambulance and medical transportation is much more complex and nuanced than a simple taxi ride or request for service now model. Further, the millions of ambulance transports that take place annually are booked by a telephone call. This phone conversation is had between 2 highly paid and task-saturated individuals who must exchange multiple pieces of complex medical information accurately. Any changes result in additional phone calls, and healthcare institutions are often kept unaware of delays because of the cumbersome nature of this process and the multitude of transports occurring. You're able to get updates on your smartphone from the postal service when your package is delayed, but the hospital is unable to get updates about the ambulance transportation of your loved one. Acuity Link has been designed to solve these complex problems. It is a completely secure, enterprise-grade software as a service that has been custom designed to meet the needs of ambulance, wheelchair, and other medical transportation logistics for both healthcare institutions and ambulance service providers. It is a browser-based web application that requires no updates or installation for the healthcare institution and the ambulance service, and it is a mobile application for the ambulance and transportation crews. The capabilities of Acuity Link begin with electronic request for service, but do not end there. It also allows for transport dispatch via smartphone application instead of radio transmission, and establishes medical necessity and ambulance appropriateness during the request process. It offers transport and patient tracking for all involved parties and is supplemented with a powerful reporting and analytics package for leadership members and decision makers. This has just been a very brief sampling of the many features of Acuity Link, and we look forward to demonstrating how Acuity Link can save your institution capital and your patients' time.